Hello everyone. Oh my gosh, it's Friday. Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. Congratulations, you did it. And today I feel much more energetic. It was a long day today. It's going to be a long day tomorrow probably also. But this theory that I've been asked to cover is one that I've kind of held off on covering. It's very provocative, and 17 months now, going on 18 months since the crime took place. It's crazy because in the very beginning, I thought there is no way that this is possible. But now I'm gonna actually entertain this theory because honestly, at this point, it is starting to seem like almost anything is possible. So before we get started, let's thank all of you amazing, beautiful people. It makes me want to like happy cry because honestly, between you and I, since I'm going to share this little secret, I didn't really think that I would be able to raise any money for Craig, our favorite veteran, because again, inflation, everything is so expensive. I know, guys, I'm having to basically work 2 jobs here to barely survive in Chicago. It's very expensive. The cost of living for all of us, it's insane. So I put it out there hoping and praying that we would be able to raise money for Craig's oxygen compressor so he can breathe, because first of all, to me, he's a veteran. I'm a veteran, and I really respect, especially those old veterans who served overseas, who like put their life in danger so all of us could have the freedoms we have today. That it's heartbreaking to me because it's like we're letting them slip away, right? We're letting our freedoms slip away, and we can see it with this IDAHO4 case. Nonetheless, my goal was to raise $500, and the other $150 I would cover out of my own pocket to cover his O2 compressor. So yesterday I did a quick tally. I think we were at 400 or just over 400. So it's like we're almost there, and that to me is just, it's amazing what happens when good people, a good community, a healthy, loving community comes together. The power of good people is amazing. So sometimes when I'm feeling down, because we all have those rare occasions where we might feel a little bit down, I come back, I'm like, look, we were able to raise money for Craig to help him live his life, to breathe. So thank you for donating. It just means a lot. And we're just $100 away. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm very happy. I'm just like, I can't wait. It's just a matter of time. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I'm gonna surprise Craig. Once we get to the $500, I'm gonna surprise him with this gift. And if he lets me film him or upload a picture, it's not obviously gonna be expected from him, but if he lets me, then you guys can see what he looks like, and you guys can maybe hopefully see his reaction. That'd be really neat. So anyway, of course I have some tea today, and I have sow thistle and violets in my regular white mug. So I'm going to show you these violets. I grow them myself in the spring. They grow. Sow thistle is very similar to dandelion, and violets, well, they're just violets. These are actually edible. Sow thistle is amazing in tea, and studies actually show it's hepatoprotective, meaning that it protects your liver. And studies show it can actually even help liver cirrhosis. So very potent. I saw an article mentioning that sow thistle has 12 times more antioxidants than dark chocolate, and I believe it was 22 times more antioxidants than red wine. So yeah, no need to drink the wine for antioxidants. You can just do the sow thistle, the dandelion, the violet tea. And the sow thistle green leaves you can put in a salad. They are very yummy, very grassy, very refreshing when they're young. You don't want to eat them when they're old because they can get quite bitter and hard to chew. So cheers to your health. and it's very refreshing. You can actually also make a jam or a jelly out of the violets, which I do in the spring, and use it on my sourdough toast. So very good stuff. Let's talk about this provocative theory having to do with the entertainment of all 4 victims being alive and Brian Kohlberger being an actor in all of this. Again, in the early days, I'm like, no way, this is insane. But time has passed, and in hindsight, well, at this point, we are all very confused and we all have a lot of questions. So we're going to entertain a lot of theories here. The first thing that I can remember when I first started researching this case was me analyzing and becoming almost obsessive with the Banfield footage. I think I watched it like hours in a row. One night, it was like 4 hours in a row. Slow motion, fast motion, regular motion, sound up, sound down, everything. I watched that for hours. And the only thing that I know for a fact is it's a very strange video, and it does come across as staged. Yeah. Does it not feel that way to you? The kids look like they're acting. The police officers, a very strange vibe they're giving, like it was planned, pre-planned, premeditated. The words seem to be very carefully chosen. That whole Banfield footage, to me, comes across as staged. So if you get that same feeling, please let me know down in the comments below. Now, the other thing I could not get past was that we have yet to see the bodies leave the house. Again, part of me understands that, well, maybe this is not something that news channels wanted to focus on because, right? But in other horrible crimes, we have seen bodies leave the house. So to this day, I still question, why have we not seen the bodies leave the house? And at the end of the day, could the 4 victims actually be undercover and alive and in witness protection? And I mentioned it in a video a few weeks back. There was a girl by the name of Xana who is a musician, and I went through her social media and found a picture of her where she is not wearing the makeup and where she is not wearing the colorful hair. This musician often has like green or pink hair. That Xana, to me, looks a lot like the Xana in the IDAHO4. And I got this entire chill through my body. And I'm like, wait, is that Xana? Moscow, Idaho Xana? Because they sure look alike when they are both not wearing makeup. Compare a natural Moscow, Idaho Xana image to a Xana Canadian musician without makeup, and they look identical. At least to me, they do. Is that crazy? And of course, it's not something I wanted to entertain in that video that I talked about the musician Xana for a long time, because it could come across as disrespectful to the parents, right? Like, how dare you say my child is alive when she is not? And you guys know how I feel about the parents. I feel like they should be allowed to grieve, and they might say things that are, don't make sense to us, but only they know what they're going through. So no, I did not want to talk about it, but because we're covering this theory, please go look at a picture of Xana the musician where she has no makeup. Does she look like this Xana in Moscow, Idaho? I think she does. Could they be the same person? That was the first thought. That was my first thought. Should I be saying it? I don't know. The other thing I noticed was, of course, the Brent Kopaka incident happened right before the IDAHO4 crime took place. And he was a veteran. And from what I know, he never had a military funeral, which as a vet, I mean, that could be a little bit strange. Like, why did you not have a military funeral? But at the same time, maybe he did have a military funeral and the family just decided to keep it very private. They were very quiet. We have not really heard from his family at all. And it's understandable. They probably don't want to be in the media. But do you think it is odd that Brent Kopaka never had a military funeral? Let me know down in the comments, please. And people also have speculated that Brent Kopaka is alive as well and in witness protection. Now, Ethan, of all the 4 victims, was the only one to have a funeral because allegedly the 3 girls, the 3 females, were cremated. Is that strange? Is that a coincidence? Let me know what you think about that. And when I decided to entertain this theory, I'm like, well, what would be the motive of them being in witness protection? There has to be a motive to come up with this act, this diversion, and then play it and blast it on the news for all of us to see. Are they trying to keep our mind off of something else that maybe is going on? Or is it that the largest drug bust in the area had just taken place? Yeah, the drug bust involving the Aryan Brotherhood. By the way, the guy running that massive drug bust, his last name is Bailey. And people have said he is not related to Emma Bailey. Something tells me he is related to Bailey. That's my own personal speculation. I'm not sure why people are standing up for Emma Bailey. I don't think she's a good person, but that's just me. We can all judge people very differently. And knowing Emma's background, I think she could definitely be related to the guy, Bailey, involved in this massive drug bust. So if these 4 victims are actually alive and in witness protection, well, then now we have a motive. If they were trying to get the bad guy or help law enforcement, then it would make sense why they're in witness protection. This drug bust involved very dangerous people. And these people have ties to very powerful people, not only in the country, but all over the world. They move substances throughout the world. So it would make sense that you want to put these 4 young people in a witness protection program, even if that means doing something crazy as staging a crime that never really took place, potentially. So let me know down in the comments, do you think this was all a ploy to keep them safe? And do you think that it is possible that Bryan Kohberger is actually working alongside law enforcement? We know he is highly educated. I believe he is highly intelligent. And he could be helping. He is an asset to law enforcement with his background in technology and psychology. So it would be very interesting if later on we find out that, well, turns out that all of this was just a diversion. Again, yes, it's a very provocative theory, so don't get offended, don't come at me. Some of you guys asked me to talk about this. So, do I look tired? I am tired. Imagine if we're like all getting played right now by LE and the fib. And that would make sense, right? because we know that they've been heavily involved. So if they're part of this massive drug bust that just took place, well, then suddenly we understand why the FBI is so heavily involved. Wow. And that would also make us understand why Ethan's parents allowed the 2 other siblings to return to the university. But it is just one of many theories. So I eat violets. They are an edible flower. So I need a nap. And please don't worry about me. A lot of people sometimes say I need to take care of myself. I understand. Life is tough out here, guys. We have to work. And I also love what I do. I love helping people. So I always make sure to recover by sleeping a lot. I mean a lot. One day I slept 14 hours in a row. And I eat like all of the food on the weekends. And I do something I love, and usually that is painting. I like to paint, and I like to garden, and I love to bake. I'm just rambling. You can just leave if you don't want to hear this. It's just me talking to myself with the camera on. Does that make sense? I'm just word vomiting at this point. Yes, I have ADD. So, I wanted to talk about Boeing. Oh my goodness. Well, Boeing Max supplier, Spirit Aerosystems, I believe is the name. What in the world is going on? A lot of you have asked me to make a video about this, and I know it's not related to this case, but I think I'm definitely going to upload my thoughts. Why? Because again, this whole Boeing issue, whistleblowers getting deleted, passing away so suddenly, it's seeming a lot like the IDAHO4 with a lot of coincidences. Too many for my liking. Boeing is very powerful. By the way, Boeing has contracts with the DoD, with the government. But I have ranted long enough. And maybe if I am feeling energized tomorrow, I will talk about that. That way it's not affecting our Monday through Friday schedule. All I'm gonna say is, if it's Boeing, I ain't going. Seriously. Unsafe. Did I already? Yeah, I already said bye. So have a good night. Take care. Have a good weekend. Take care of your mental, physical, emotional health, spiritual health too. You can't be healthy with all of those things being covered. I know, I'm a hippie.